America. My name is Cheryl Shaft, and with me today in the hot seat is none other than Tamba. How you doing, Tamba?
I'm doing perfectly well.
You're doing perfectly well. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm assuming, therefore, it's just downhill from here.
yeah, that's true. Unless I win the tier 1 race, it's only downhill from here. So,
True.
yeah.
But for now, we can sit in bliss that we do not know whether we're doing good or bad in a couple of hours' time for the Tier 1 race. And we can simply enjoy the cream of the crop here at the Performance Racing League with these premier drivers. This is our senior tier. These are our best drivers. And therefore, all the pressure in the world is on their shoulders to represent this league. Yeah, we are about 10 minutes into qualifying so far. A few of the lap times are popping up. We'll start to focus a bit more on those as we get towards the end of qualifying. But for now, Tamba, I believe you have the current championship standings in front of you. We are round 19 of 23, I want to say. How many races have we got after this?
Yeah, I think it's 22. I think we had 3 races of this.
So we've got 3 races after this.
Yeah.
Which is Canada, Brazil, and Abu
Mexico.
Dhabi? Oh, Mexico. Have we got Abu Dhabi as well, have we? Or not?
Nah, I think Abu Dhabi's gone.
Okay, cool. So we've got 3 races after this. So we are at the crunch time of the championship. And yeah, Tamba, run us through. How is it looking at the moment in Premier Tier?
Yeah, so Jer is in first place in the standings with a solid lead of around 70 points. Ahead of second in the league, which is Bass, on 511 points. Then we got Adri and Fruitful on the same amount of points, which is 458. Then we got Steinmine right behind, the 18 points behind. And then we got Calibrop and Calcis fighting for P6 in the standings, 30 points apart. Boas and Capilot in 8th and 9th with 6 points apart. Team Mike in 10th with 240 points, and Doug Trio 2 points behind. Then we got Matty Player with 230 points, and Bronco with 207. Wirt with 148, Jesse with 104, Rack with 87, Days with 86, so 1 point apart, and then we have Super Haman and Drink Alchemy with 9 and 3 points.
So quite the spread there, and it is also worth noting we've got a bunch of people reserving today. With it being the 2nd of January, we do have a few absences. Most notably, we have Jer, right at the top of that championship standing that Tambar went through, is missing today, and we're also missing Steinmine as well. The Mercedes driver is missing. So a few reserves in. We've got George Tava replacing Steinmine in that Mercedes. We've got BMB Levy in the Mercedes, in the McLaren, sorry, replacing Jer. But also worth pointing out, we have Kaz and Cal in the AlphaTauri, which for yourself, Tamba, as an AlphaTauri driver, is quite the lottery, as we have no idea what sort of pace they're going to be showing us today. But fingers crossed for yourself.
It is better than one driver, so
that is true. Yeah. Assuming they don't cause a massive crash, you should be getting 2 drivers worth of points.
Yeah, we have one driver in the standings that is an AlphaTauri driver, and he has 9 points. That's
quite the share of points today. Yeah. But, so yes, with us coming now into the final 10 minutes of qualifying today, let's have a look at how things are currently standing. We've got 5 drivers in the 131s. Adri, no surprise, with 131.2 currently sitting in pole, and Bass in 131.4. I imagine those 2 are going to be the favourites for this race today, as they are 2 of our top drivers, and especially with 2 of the other top drivers missing, I'm sure they are both going to desperately want to take advantage and get the win today. Who are you looking at for qualifying, Tambar? Who are you seeing as the potential surprise packages? Anyone you think we should keep an eye out around America?
Well, I know Calirob is a lover of this track, so I'm expecting him to do pretty well. And Calcis as well has won both the practice races, so he he should do good, but he is in third place, so no surprise. And then we got T Mike. Is a bit of a wild card because he has been on form the last 2 or 3 races or something. So hoping to keep up the form in this race.
Yeah, definitely. Very good thing to point out. A lot of these drivers tend to have preferences when it comes to the track. So sometimes the championship standings can be deceptive as certain drivers really start to come into their own around certain parts of the world, it should be said.
Yeah.
We'll jump on board now with Adri, our current pole sitter in the Red Bull 131.2. He has just gone a tenth quicker after
Oh.
2 sectors, so it might be improving here as he comes around
Yep.
through the very fast winding final sector. Penultimate corner keeps it on the track nicely, and the uphill final corner again throttle down early, and he does improve
Oh.
into the 130s. That is a stonking lap and quite the
That
statement.
is. Yeah.
It's also
That
worth
is a time
noting
trial lap. So.
that is a time trial lap, but he does not cut. Adri's just like, you know what? These tyre temps mean nothing to me. We're
Yeah.
just going to smash through this. We've also seen Sir Capelot, who was, I was just about to say, had moved into P2, but Bass has responded in kind and moves into P2, less than a tenth behind his title contender in
Yeah.
driving around in the green Aston Martin. So quite the statement from those two. Definitely showing that they are at times in a league of their own.
Yeah.
We've also got, interestingly, so we've got Darluto, Player, and Cal Turl in the AlphaTauri, all, I don't know if disqualified or
I think
retired.
they're retired.
They all retired. I'm not sure why. I don't know if you've caught any of that from your view.
I think Darludo is a tier 1 reserve. I think he joined mid quali, and I think he just retired. But I'm not sure about the other two.
Hmm.
I think
Interesting.
they
We'll have
retired
to.
straight away or something. But
Yeah, I did
yeah,
notice that. I wasn't sure if that was just a visual thing for me, but regardless, we will see those at the back of the grid. Currently on board with Cowses in the Williams. Um, and that's him round. That
yeah,
is Cowses round. That was looking a good lap as well. He was up on his time. Should have time to get back in the pits though and go for one more run.
yeah. I'm expecting Fruitful to do a bit better, to be honest. He is in the top kind of 4 when it
Yeah,
comes to pace this year. So
definitely, and especially with his teammate Jer being missing today, he's going to want to take advantage. But yeah, no, you're right. We should see him near the top. He's been on fine form recently.
yeah,
Um,
uh, yeah. Uh, we got George Tavares hasn't set it up yet. Do you think drivers are going to purposely try and stay out of the top 10 to start on the mediums or hards?
Good question. I don't know. I mean, it's a risky strategy. I think there is definitely a clear pace difference between the softs and the mediums, and also because there's quite a pace difference between some of these drivers. Unless you are Adri, Base, Fruitful, one of those top drivers, it's very risky to try the mediums, and it's quite risky to try and, try and get as high up as you can. I feel like it's one of those things where, yeah, you either go on the softs. I mean, every driver so far has gone on the softs, or
Yeah,
you just kind of sit back and accept a 14th, 15th start. I think it has been helped by the fact that we've got 3 drivers already disqualifying and DNFing, so
yeah.
from that perspective, it's not going to be too bad a start if it does happen.
But I feel like the problem with the strategy of starting on the worst tire at the start is it may be faster if you don't have traffic, but you're gonna have traffic. You're gonna end up like 14th or something, and then you're gonna go through people one by
Yes.
one of the softs, and you may wear out the tires too quick to have something to do at the end.
Yeah, definitely. The softs really do burn out very quickly, and we will see these guys kind of pitting around the 10 lap sort of range because these softs
Yeah,
do start to struggle pretty early. So we'll make it interesting for potential undercuts, overcuts. Soft
yeah,
mediums, I imagine, will be the most popular strategy, but we could see some
yeah.
variations.
I think there are some people that are going to go hard softs.
Hmm,
Maybe pit lap 6 or something and try a big undercut to gain some time.
definitely. Yeah.
But then again, they're going to lose time at the end, but it's a gamble.
Yeah, that's one of the tricky things, I think. With the medium tyres, you can't pit too early with the softs because the mediums just will not extend to the end of the race. So
Yeah.
if you do try the undercut, you are forcing yourself to stick to the soft hard strategy, which, yeah, I mean, those hards do definitely have a pace difference to the mediums. So it will be interesting to see what these guys go for. I do think we will see some variety of pit
Yeah.
strategies today.
Well,
So, coming through the final runs, currently on board with Cass in the AlphaTauri. He has set a lap so far, 1:32.7. We'll be wanting to improve on that. We'll keep an eye on a few guys. We've got George just behind him. We've got Sir Capelot behind that.
yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on all of those guys as they're going through. Cass going through the tricky S bends is improving by a tenth.
He kept a pretty high gear in those S's.
He did, and that's George Taver
Oh,
has retired on track.
I think that's a crash. Yeah, he crashed in the S's.
Ooh, it's not good for the Mercedes.
If you see the Mercedes coming through, we may see the crash. Yeah, he just spun out and hit the wall on the right hand side.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Hopefully he'll be able to show what he's got in the race with some race pace. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
As we're seeing, Kaz is improving. He's almost 3/10 up.
Yep.
That would be enough to move into 13th, but he is going to need to find a bit more pace if he's going to want to move higher. Oh, that was a tricky thing to say. Going to want to move higher.
Yeah.
And let's have a look as well at Sir Capelot, who has backed out as he has invalidated his lap. So we'll jump back on with Kaz, who as he comes through the final corner, looks like 13th is currently his. Will he improve any further? He does.
Oh,
That's a great
nice.
final sector. Gains 3/10 in the final sector, and moves up into 12th position. That's a great qualifying lap from him.
Yep.
Let's see.
Who's
So Bronco's
next?
starting. So Capelot
The current day
taking
is
his
coming
time.
online.
Current day. Let's have a look. Yeah, current day is just about to
Oh,
pass through.
Adrian.
Moves into third. That's a great lap from the current day. That is really shaking
Yeah.
things up as Adri
Oh, actually,
improves by 100th of a second, or 9 thousandths to be exact, increases
yeah,
his
Bass has
lead,
invalidated.
and Bass has invalidated, which means, looking at pole, current day won't have enough time for another lap. So Capelot is starting.
It's
So, yeah, if we're going to get another pole sitter, they're going to need to gain at least half a second.
Cassis has invalidated.
Cass is invalidated.
Fruitful has invalidated.
Fruve is invalidated. Grack has on a lap, so we'll keep an eye on Grack and Sir Capelot, the two highest
Yeah.
on their final laps currently.
OS has
Capelot,
invalidated.
ooh, Capelot is not improved. He's down half a tenth in the first sector, which is not what he would want. These two, I said, Grack is improving. He's up 12 hundredths of a second as T-Mac crosses the line. He's currently ninth. Capelot
Oh,
still half a tenth down.
Adrian Grech doing some slipstreaming there. Great
That
team.
is, yeah, that is great teamwork to sync that up. And that means that Grack has purpled the second sector, is now 2/10 up.
Yeah.
Bass has been disqualified.
Yeah, he stood still on the side of
Ooh. Now that is very
the wall.
unfortunate.
So
I've,
that's
yeah, I've been the recipient of that disqualification before, and I tell you, that can anger a driver. As Grack comes through, crosses the line with that slipstream, let's see how much that can improve his time. He moves up into 5th position. Great lap there. As Capelot has invalidated. Let's have a look. We've got current
oh,
day.
Calirob is on a lap.
Calirob is on a lap.
Going to the last corners.
Yeah, coming through the final corner now. Is he going to improve at all? I don't think he will. He
It will.
does, but it's moves him into P2, but not quite enough for pole. Let's have a look. I think that's everyone.
Yeah.
That is everyone. So wow, dramatic shift at the end there as we see Bass disqualified and going from a P2 to a P18, which is huge for the championship, shuffles the entire pack up. And with Cali Rob there pulling out a 1:31.2 at the last second, we see an American 2-3. But all of that
Yeah.
was not enough to dethrone a fantastic qualifying session from Adri in the Red Bull. Wow, what a qualifying session, Temba.
Yeah. And Calirob showing where he loves the track as well, so that's uh, good for him, I guess.
Good for him indeed. So just a quick rundown of your top 10 then. We've got Adri in the Red Bull in P1, your pole sitter here in Premier Tier at the USA. Cali Rob in his home race in P2, Current Day in his home race in P3, Sir Capalot just next door in Mexico. Although between you and me, he is American, currently in America, so this is technically his home race in P4. Grack in
Yeah.
P5, Kaus's P6, Fruitful P7, T-Mike P8, Dace P9, and Boaz in the Alfa Romeo, rounding up the top 10. So, very interesting to see how this will set up. I do have some inside information. We are expecting the blazing American Southern Sun all race today, so no risk of rain at all. But it will mean, as the track temperatures are improving, or increasing, I should say, the tyre wear will get harder and harder to control. So, with all that in mind, Tambar, using your fantastic expertise and analysis, I've asked it before, I'll ask it again. Who are you having as your podium today?
Okay. So, uh, uh, I'm not quite sure yet because I don't have the table up, but I don't think Bass will get up to the podium today. I think he will be too far behind. Probably end up in like fifth, sixth or something. I think Adrian will win the race. I think Adrian will dominate the race, as he does when he is on form. And I think Calirob will firm the podium, not P2. I think he will firm the podium. I think Calirob P3, and then actually I think we'll get an amazing drive from Mr. Red Bull Greg.
Mr. Red Bull himself.
And he will
Yes.
come P2 making the Red Bull 1-2 here. So that's my prediction.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's quite an interesting one to suggest, as you're saying with Bass. You don't think he will be getting the podium today, but as we know, he is one of the fastest in the Premier tier, so we should be expecting him to improve, and that is a good prediction to be making. Where do you think Bass is going to finish up? Will he be able to do a miracle? Will he do a Hamilton? Will he do a last to first? If you had to place him, where do you think he was going to finish?
That's it's tricky to start from the back because you don't know what tires is he on. Can we see what tires is he on? Man, he is on mediums. Okay, so if he starts on mediums, it can go one or two ways. Either one way he ends up on the around P5, maybe P6. I think there will be a crash at the top, so around P5, P6.
Oh,
Or
interesting.
he just crashes miserably on lap one, and then no more Bass.
No more Bass. That will be a shame if we're making these predictions and he crashes early doors.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Important just to note, as you mentioned there, the tyres. So we have got, as always, the top 10 on the starting tyre that they qualified on, which in this case is all softs. And then from there, we've got Kaz in 12th, George in 14th, and Calturl in 15th in the softs. B&B Levy on the mediums, Bronco the mediums, Matty Player and Bass on the mediums, and Darluto, the single hard tyre to start the race.
Yeah.
So, drivers finishing the formation lap, coming round to the start. As always, Tambar, if you want to, as we see the run up to turn one.
Yeah, can I just point out one frustrating thing?
Of course.
Both the Alpha Tower drivers are on softs. And they're outside the top 10. And if they don't make up 2 positions in the first lap, I'm gonna be...
Well, you never know. It might be an absolute masterstroke from the AlphaTauri strategy team. as we see the lights coming through. 3, 4, 5 red lights are out, and away we go here. Round 19 in the USA in Austin. Coming through now, and it looks like Current Day's had a terrible start. He's already lost 2 spaces, both to the Williams, who now move up to 3rd and 4th. Cowses has gained 2 places from 6th. He's now in 4th. Bass has already gained 1. Darlus has fallen back through. We've had all sorts of changes, you can see. George, Hava and Kauter both gaining 4 places. Fruitful having a terrible start. And the other McLaren, it looks like Levy has now fallen to the back of the grid. What can you see at the back there, Tambar?
It's a pretty clean start. Caltoro has made up a lot of positions, and Cass has done the absolute opposite and just crashed into the wall. So it's like kind of
very opposite. Yeah, opposite, as Kauto now moves up to 9th position. So you've got one AlphaTauri moving up 6 positions to 9th, and the other one dropping 6 positions to 18th. But at the front of the grid, Adri has maintained his start. Calirob and Sir Capelot fighting out for P2. The 2 Williams having a great start, moving up to 3rd and 4th. As you can probably tell from the way I'm talking about it, I am a Williams driver, and I am loving this. But Calirob maintaining his position in 2nd. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like, is that Baz has spun round? That is Baz. Spun round. Don't think he's got any damage, but that is not going to do him any good.
Well, what did I say?
You predicted it. Baz, if you're listening to this back, it is all Tambar's fault. He jinxed it. But as we look forward again to the front of the pack, Adri has already pulled out almost a second, which is absolutely huge. As we will see at the end of this lap, DRS will be enabled, and if he can maintain that second gap, he will be free from the risk of the rear wing opening up of Calirob, which is what he is wanting. But behind him, we've still got the 2 Williams, and we've got Current Day and then Grack. So quite the change of the grid.
Yeah.
Looks like Kaz is pitting, understandably, considering he has had that crash. Baz not pitting, so don't think he had any damage.
Why is he going in softs?
The pain in your voice.
My guy, at least stick it out on the hards.
Yeah, I mean,
go for a gamble.
At this stage, now that we're through the first 1.5 laps, I don't think there's likely to be an early safety car. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. He's doing his thing, and I guess we'll see if it pays off. Matty playing Bronco looked like they're having a bit of a scuffle in 15th and 16th place. Matty Play managing to keep hold of the position for now. Not a great day for Aston Martin so far, but hopefully they'll see some improvements. As Adri turns the final corner, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that Bass isn't that far behind. He's not like miserably far behind, so he may still get the top 10 or something.
Yes, still a long way to go in this race. Still another 25 laps, and he is gaining considerably on Bronco in front of him. So do not count out Bass the man himself just yet. As you see, Grack getting a warning for track limits. I do think penalties are going to be a big thing in this race. The USA is famous for just absolute pain for staying in the white lines. It looks like Kaz has had another spin. Not a great day for the AlphaTauri driver. Not a great day to be commentating, Tambar, for it, I imagine.
Yeah, no, it's... I'm kind of used to it, to be honest.
Yes, how many points have AlphaTauri got this season in Premier Tier?
Well, let's put it in contrast here. Give me a second. So, in Tier 2, in Tier 2, AlphaTauri is second place with 658 points. In Tier 1, AlphaTauri is second again with 715 points.
Wow.
And there goes the other AlphaTauri.
Oh, no.
And in Premier, we are absolutely dead last with 262 points.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
miracle you've got 200 points, I have to admit. With
Well,
no
we had some early
consistent team.
podiums.
That is true.
F1 Charlie, please come back.
Yeah, so many driver changes for you this year in Premier Tier. It's and that's
Oh!
B&B Levy going round,
Another
losing.
reserves bite the dust.
Yeah, and he's lost his front end plate. That is going to be a front wing change for sure for the McLaren. And Darluto, another reserve, picking up a 3-second penalty already.
Well,
Wow. Yeah.
I'm gonna whack up the race director here and see if we got any warnings on the top drivers. So Adri is clean. Calderob is clean. So Caplot is surprisingly clean. Calcis is clean. Current day is clean. Rack had 2 warnings on lap 3.
Ooh.
The danger area. Days is clean. Boas clean. Fruitful clean. Mike clean. George has 1 warning. Darludo, a penalty. Yeah, a penalty. Matty player, a warning. Bronco, 2 warnings. Bass, 0 warnings. And B&B Levere
had 1 warning, I believe.
I think he had 2 warnings. Yeah, 2 warnings.
Oh, and that's another warning for Bronco, just popped up there.
Yeah. So as the further along the further down the table you go, the more warnings you get.
Yes.
Except for Greg.
And it's also interesting that with the tyres, all of the mediums have filtered down now. So from 1st to 12th are all on the softs, and then it goes Darloto on the hards, and then 4 medium drivers. Obviously, Cass has had spun and has crashed, so understandable he is on the softs, and B&B Levy now going into the pits onto the softs as well. But
he's spun again.
Oh, he's spun. Or is he in the pits?
Nah, he's spun.
He's spun. That's a shame.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to kill himself.
Yes, but it is worth noting that it does look like the softs do give you a strong advantage off the line. As we see Sir Caplot in the Williams moving up into 2nd place, getting past Calirob on that home straight. Adri 2 seconds ahead already, just looking imperious. And assuming there's no safety car and no strategy issues, he just does not look like he is letting go of this win.
Yeah, Caplot is in P2, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, Caplot in P2, Calirob P3, Kaus is P4. I cannot wait for my early days happiness to absolutely jinx it for the 2 Williams drivers, and it all to go south. Pardon the pun.
I feel like they gotta have bad luck sometimes.
Look, just because you've had more bad luck this year than you deserve doesn't mean other people should start getting it.
Man, your name is Cher. You gotta share the pain, you know?
That is true. That is true. It is my namesake.
Yeah,
it's more warnings. It is. So that's the first warning for Sir Capelot, getting on for running wide. Dace getting a warning. Freefall getting a warning as well. So warnings starting to come through, and they do seem to be exclusively through the S's. So that's where the drivers really trying to keep it clean, but definitely the trickiest place, as it looks like Sir Capelot trying to defend from the DRS of Calirob, and does manage to do this lap, so is able to keep hold of P2. It's an interesting situation, to be honest, Ambar, looking at it. Obviously, we've got Adri far ahead, but between Sir Capelot all the way down to Dace, they're all within a second of each other. So for Sir Capelot, you are, by moving into 2nd place, you are losing that DRS. If you are Sir Capelot, are you happy in this position, or are you preferring to kind of filter back into the pack behind and allow yourself to maintain ERS and letting someone else lead the group?
Yeah, but that's like, you gotta, like, if you're in P1, you are Adri's pitting.
Adri's pitting onto the hards.
Yeah, as I said, if
Interesting.
you are in the lead, you're getting less tire wear and cooler tires. But if you were using a lot more ERS and maybe a little bit more tire to defend the other guys coming behind, so I would maybe just let the guys by if they are not like slowing you down.
Mm.
So if they have kind of the same pace, I don't see the point of fighting someone.
Yeah, that's a good point. Definitely, those fights can really mess up your tires and
Yeah,
mess up your strategy. So yeah, definitely a good thing to be wary of.
yeah. It looks like Fruitful and Boas has got caught up to the train as well.
Yes,
And
they
Dace
have.
is kind of falling out.
Dace is now, yeah, Dace has almost fallen a second behind. George Tavern ninth is the big gap from the front pack. Adri, though, the first to pit, has fallen back into 12th, now regained up to 11th, overtaking Cowtail. And on those hards, so clearly looking to make the most of this undercut. Where do you think he's going to fall through? Because the soft runners in front of him have definitely got a good 2, 3, maybe 4 laps left on these softs. So um,
Yeah,
I imagine he's going to be back in first, but in how much is that going to affect him towards the end of the race, I wonder?
yeah. I think what Adri is thinking is I was 2 seconds ahead, or maybe 3 seconds. And then if I
Mm,
undercut now, I will be maybe 6, maybe 7 seconds ahead, and
mm.
then I will save my tires enough that I can fight back, or maybe just keep the the lead until the end of the race.
Yes,
So
definitely.
kind of a defensive strategy.
Yeah, it makes sense. If he's confident in his pace, then he knows
Yeah,
that by undercutting himself, he is protecting himself from the undercut. So, yeah,
yeah.
definitely makes sense. If he has got that pace, as you say, then he hasn't really got to worry too much about tyre life towards the end of the race.
Oh,
As we see Dace and T Mike both pitting. T
yeah.
Mike going on to the mediums, Dace going on to the hards.
So Dace is probably trying to do the same as Adri, but
Yeah.
in a more aggressive way, probably, because he was pretty far behind.
And T Mike on the mediums, does that suggest he might be going for a two stop today?
It's a lot of fighting in the top five there.
It is, yeah.
And current day is going absolutely mental.
It is a battle, yeah. Calirob and Capalot
Oh,
moving first and second. Grak moving through the
oh,
inside on current day.
oh,
Oh, is
what the?
that? That looks to be a visual glitch because
Yeah, I
they're
hope
both
that it's a
driving.
visual glitch.
I've not seen that before. That was an interesting one.
I think if that wasn't a visual glitch, then we would see a big front wing flying off the
Yes.
Mercedes car. So
Oh, and we have got Capalot and Grak pitting. We've got current day pitting as well. So this is the go time for these drivers.
oh, current day on softs. Is that a two-stop strategy?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Capalot on the hards.
Yeah,
Current day in the softs. Yeah, Grak's on the hards as well. Adri clearly moves back into first. That I don't know. I can only assume that is a mistake, or maybe it must be a
yeah,
two-stop.
yeah.
Soft, soft, medium.
At least you gotta commit to it now.
Yeah, true. Very true. There's no doubting it.
Yeah, Broncos got a 3 second.
Yes. So the important thing to keep an eye on now then is where will Sir Capelot and importantly where will Grak filter back through on those hard tyres, because he's got space in front of him, he's not in a huge amount of traffic, and he is effectively undercutting the cars in front. So this will give us a good idea of just how powerful that undercut is for these drivers.
So Adri is about 6 seconds, maybe 5 seconds ahead of Sir Capra at the moment.
Mm.
So
And that
yeah, he
was what,
gained
2 laps he had?
4 seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds on 2 laps. So
Yes. Ooh, and Calirob and Cowses both staying out. Interestingly, Fruitful jumps into the pits. Boaz stays out as well. So, if you're Calirob then, Tambo, if you're Calirob, how
he,
are you just wanting to stay out as long as possible at this stage, and trying to take advantage of your tyre condition at the end of the race?
I feel like if you are you're definitely going on the mediums if you're going in at this point. But I think they're trying to like, I think if me and Calcis can like stay on each other and feed off the DRS, we can kind of gain the lost time when we go on the medium because we have better tires
Mm,
and we have to slipstream of each other, and then we can probably catch up with better tires. And then
yes, there's a very good point.
so yeah, it's a lot of different strategies at the track, so that's fun.
And importantly, I mean, one of the big things as well with pit stops is knowing where you will filter back into the crowd. And
Yeah,
unfortunately for current day, he has filtered back behind Baz, which has lost him a bit of time from Sir Capelot, who very kindly filters into a bit of a gap behind Adri. So
yeah,
um, no moves getting done now, but yeah, that is looking good for. I mean, Adri is just running away with this race here.
yeah.
Sir Capelot looking pretty good now in P2, so um, it will just be a
Oh,
case of
Calcis is going for the undercut. Caleb
Calcis
staying
is
in.
going to the pits. Yeah, Calirob now staying out. He's on lap 10. Boaz staying out as well. So two
I feel like
drivers.
that's a bit of overkill on the tires. They should be pretty dead at the moment.
Yes, and Calcis is going for a soft medium, so a very aggressive strategy there for the Williams.
Yeah.
He will have the pace now, but he's going to have to look after those mediums and try and time his attack perfectly. Let's see where he filters out.
Oh,
It
just out of fruitful.
it is just ahead of Freakful and is into 7th position. So he's going to want to keep Fruitful behind him, but it'll be interesting to see how those tyres hold up from the rest of the group. Now, current day, the Mercedes in 5th has overtaken Baz and is now eyeing up Sir Capelot. Both did just pit at the same time, however, current day has got the softs versus Capelot's hards, and Capelot as well with the 3 seconds penalty. He's not going to be loving that.
Yeah, he currently gotta be getting past. If he wants to have any chance of finishing in the top 5 in the race.
He is, and he's not gone for the move. Very interesting. He looked like he had the pace, but he didn't dive
Yeah,
for
and
it.
he has the grip to move. So,
Yeah, very surprising. Very withheld. Maybe he wants to keep that DRS that he's getting behind. But I imagine if you're him, you want to make the most of these softs and just push.
yeah, they're best at 2-3 laps in the
Yes.
beginning as well, so you don't want to like lose out on the 2-3 laps at the start.
Yeah, definitely. Cali Rob now. Cali Rob and Bars both jumping in the pit. So, final of the soft starters jumping in. Both on to, I want to say both onto mediums? Yes, both onto mediums. Let's keep an eye on Cali Rob. See where he filters out into the pack. He will be
Yeah,
behind. So, yeah, he's behind the front lot. He is in 7th position. I don't
yeah,
think he'll mind that. I don't think
nah,
he'll mind that at all.
he will have better tires, and he can just save tires behind the guys up front
Yes.
and come back at the end.
And whilst we were watching Cali Rob there, current day did overtake Capelot on the home straight, so he has now been set free on those softs, and we'll want
Yeah,
to cut as much of a gap into Adri and build as much of a gap to Sir Capelot behind him as he can. As Calcis goes for Calcis and Fruitful overtaking Baz,
well,
which is great news for them, clearing the 11
yeah,
Apold mediums.
yeah, and then
Fruit
Calarob's probably gonna do the same.
And Fruitful's gone for a move on Calcis and overtakes him. So Calcis down into 5th, Fruitful up into 4th. Great move from the McLaren there.
Yeah. So Baz falling down the field. Yeah, yes, the first tire, so it's not that easy to stay on the guys with the more
Mm.
compound.
Looks like Bronco and Matty Player having a bit of a fight in for 11th position. Looks like Matty Player's got it for now. As
Yeah,
that was, who was that getting that warning? Current Day joining the penalty club. Let's have a look at the penalties at the moment. Oh, and there goes George joining us. So that's over half the grid now, with some form of penalties as we near the halfway stage. Right, new prediction for you, Tambar, as we come
Yeah.
into the halfway stage. Oh, Kauto getting the fastest lap. A little bit of good news for the AlphaTauri team there.
Yay.
um, what do you think will be the most amount of penalty seconds a driver's going to have today? How many seconds?
Well, I don't know if any of these drivers are going to have like a lot of seconds, but I think we will enter at least 12 seconds. I
Yeah,
think the guys at the back
I
are already under 6 seconds should probably get 12 seconds.
I think that's a safe bet. I think probably
Yeah.
12 or 15
Yeah.
is your safe bet. And
Well, let's go for a gamble and say 30. Disqualification
you,
for Bass DG.
but if
Absolutely
Baz,
massacring
wow,
an Alfa Romeo.
I mean, you jinxed him once. If you jinx him again, I do not think he's going to be very happy. He is one of only 4 drivers not to pit yet. So,
Oh, yellow flag.
oh, yellow flag. Who is that spun? That is T Mike spun in the Haas.
Yeah.
Not gonna be enjoying that. I mean, that third sector is a nightmare for losing the rear end.
Yeah.
All the camber changes, the uphill, downhill.
Yeah. The traction zones are horrible.
Yes. Right.
Canadian winners.
So we'll keep an eye. I mean, Adri's out in front. I'd love to kind of watch the man at work and just see him majestically, but he's just too good. There's not much to commentate over, to be honest. So we'll keep an eye on the pack behind him. We've got our eyes currently on Fruitful as he comes through, and he will be getting DRS. Will Capelot get DRS as well? The answer to that is yes. No, he does not. Which is great news for Fruitful, as he can go for a move. He dummies around the outside, but jinks back onto the inside. And he will have the inside of the next corner, which means he does get the move done. Capelot tries to fight back, hugging the outside.
Oh my god.
And he goes for it through and gets the move done, but they're still fighting. But Fruitful will have the inside again and should get it done. Capelot still trying to fight back, but having to concede. That it was a great little battle there. And well played by Fruitful, knowing which corner to be on the inside for to give him the best traction zone. And the McLaren really making those medium tyres work.
Yep. And Fruitful is not gaining that much time anymore. He's kind of stuttering on the pace at the moment. So he may start to try, or maybe want to go into the pits.
Oh, and whilst we were just looking at it, the two Williams looked like they were trying to do a bit of a switch. I think Capelot on the hards, understanding that Kelsey's on the mediums was going to be a bit quicker, but in doing so, they both let Cali Rob through. So a bit of a mistake there, not understanding their scenario, and Cali Rob going, "Thank you very much. I will take that 4th place."
Yeah, and they are low on the ERS as well. So,
all of that does mean, and all of that does mean that Fruitful has built himself a nice little gap now, comfortably sitting in 3rd place over a second. So not too displeased with that.
That's another AlphaTauri, and that's
That's Kauto, I believe.
The front wing is still fine.
The front wing's still fine. Some good news.
Yes.
Reporting back to AlphaTauri HQ. We've no more front wing budget. We're still good.
Yeah.
Okay. So as Adri, as Adri crosses the line to start the 17th lap, let's just have a quick recap. So Adri clearly out in front, being the best driver all day so far today. Not there yet, but definitely got one hand on that American trophy. Current day in the Mercedes has gone for the aggressive 2-stop strategy, out in second comfortably. but we'll need to pit again. Fruitful on the mediums. We'll be trying to get these mediums to the end. Showing some really great race pace and is catching up with Current Day now, whose softs are really probably starting to fall off.
Yeah.
Rob taking advantage of that mistake as George Tava looks
Oh,
like he's crashed,
safety car.
and that is a safety car.
Damn. And
Wow.
he crashed. He crashed at the start of the S's, so I think he just caught the inside curb there, and just the car just didn't move.
Mm.
Turn the right
Now,
way.
interestingly, only Levy in the McLaren is able he's the first one to put into the safety car, so no one is able to take perfect advantage. But
Oh, God damn
this
it.
is a crunch
Calcio had
time.
spun a bit
Mm.
more. He would have could have pit.
So,
If you
I mean,
fail miserably.
if you're
That's
Adri, are you pitting here
yeah.
onto mediums? And he does.
He
He is
is.
pitting.
Oh, he is. Oh, never
Current
mind.
Day surely has to pit. He does. Fruitful pitting as well. Calirob pitting. Kelsey's pitting. They're all pitting.
Yeah, but
Capalot.
the current day is absolutely done the master plan here.
He
The
has.
man is put it on the
He
softs and then
has. What a dream.
yeah, and
Capalot
everyone has to
pitting.
go on the mediums.
Is there going to be a
Because on
double
the
stack for the Williams
softs.
drivers?
Yeah, that's well. Calcis, is he on the softs or is he on the mediums? He's on
And
the
Kelsey's is
mediums.
being held. So Gabelot is going to be held as well. He does filter back through, but he has lost positions. Grack is overtaking him.
Correct.
Boas. Oh, there's some soft guys going through here.
Yeah, the softs are gonna keep on the 10 laps at least. So
I mean, well, it's a good point though. Actually, if we've got another couple of laps under the safety car, then they're
yeah,
doing what 9 laps under the softs,
yeah,
so they can
that
get to
should
the end.
yeah. They will be extremely fast at the start.
Yes, and they
But
will probably start
those
to
are
fall off for the final few laps. Yeah.
yeah, so they will try to get through the field quite aggressively at the start.
Mm.
So wants to watch there at least. Yeah, so Bass is on the softs. Bass as well. What a comeback!
What a comeback! Well, I mean, you did predict that early crash, and what was your second prediction? That he was gonna crash out the race?
P5? Yeah, crash out the race or P5. So maybe right, or
Maybe
he may
right.
get a disqualify and disque and DNF with the seconds of penalties.
Mm. I mean, with the safety car bunching everyone up, it does bring the penalties into play now. So
Yeah,
those drivers without a penalty will be loving life. At the top, Current Day and Fruitful both with 3 seconds. So from Calirob's perspective, he is loving this.
yeah, and I predicted Calirob on the P3, so still on. Crack P2 maybe still on. We need the crash, but at least apart from that, then still on. He has a lot of penalties though, sadly for him.
He
I feel
does.
like we predicted him worse last time, so we have to make up for it this time.
Ooh, and that's Darluto pitting.
Oh, he wasn't he on hards? No,
He was
he's
on
on
softs.
softs.
He'd already pitted
Oh,
once for softs, and he's pitting again for softs.
well, he's losing positions.
I'm not sure what that's all about, but it does mean that everyone behind him jumps up one.
Yeah, except for Calturi and B&B Levy. They are too far behind to catch up.
Hmm.
They will soon enough.
So,
Okay.
safety car coming through. This should be the last lap under safety car. I think the pack should catch up enough. So they should be restarting now. So, yeah, very important restart for Adri. I mean, typically, the front driver tries to leave it as long as possible to protect themselves from the overtake on the restart. But here in America, the start line is right at the beginning of the start straight, so there is no way to protect himself from the slipstream of the cars behind him, which means it will be all about surprising current day behind him, getting the jump on him and timing it perfectly.
Yeah, and they need to kind of make a gap, those two.
Yes.
Yes, they are 3 seconds in penalties.
And especially with the front 7 all being on mediums, there we go, confirmation safety car is in this lap. With the front 7 all on mediums, they've all got the same sort of tyre advantage and disadvantage. So it will be interesting to see how much Bass is able to take advantage of his softs.
Yeah. Okay, I have a bit of bet to you. Do you think, while now most of the drivers have a lot more grip, do you think everyone will get a penalty?
Do I think everyone's going to get a penalty?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I don't think so. I think I can see Adri surviving. I think I can see Calirob surviving. He has been very clean this race. As Adri has gone. Oh, and there's collision at the back of the grid between 15th and 16th. I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that. Adri has gone, and he looks like he's got the jump on current day. Who Fruitful has managed to overtake. So as they go too wide, come on game, give me a good angle. They go too wide, and Fruitful around the outside is able to get that move done. Looks like Capelot looking up the outside of Grack, but not through the S's. No, sir, you're not going to get a move done there. Baz, therefore, is having to hold tight on his softs. Let's keep an eye where these moves are going to come from. This next straight is going to be crucial for these drivers to get these early moves done. Capelot looking down the inside of Grack. It doesn't go for a jump early.
And Bass as well. Gotta have a better exit there.
He has, let's see, Grack and Capelot fighting on the ERS and the slipstream. Not able to get it done now. As it looks like everyone behind is filtered through. Capelot will go for the late break. And he will get the move done as Grack filters back. As Baz goes through the inside of Grack. He does get the move done, but Grack will have the inside of the next turn. Can Baz switch back? He tries to, but doesn't now. As he comes through the S's, he will have to back off a little bit as there's no move to be done through these tight right-handers. But he will go again through the long straight. You can just see the pace difference. And he goes to the inside around the final corner. He gets the move done. Baz moving up into 7th position. Oh, some movement, some weaving going on there.
Yeah.
And you can see... Yes, a bit of movement. I mean, that battle between Baz and Grack means that Capelot has gained a bit of a half-second gap. But Baz now is going to just fight through. I mean, through all of this, Adri has picked up a 2-second gap. The man is a machine.
I think that says it all.
It really does. Baz now, purple first sector. He looks down the inside of Capelot. No move to be done there.
Capelot a bit wide.
He does go a bit wide in this. Baz now going to shoot through the inside before the long straight. He does break a little bit later. Gets the move done early. Capelot having to go a bit wide, but not fighting back, which is probably a wise thing to do, knowing that Baz has got the soft tyres. Will he go for a move back, though? He looks down the inside. He is fighting back, and he's going to try and brake later. He does brake later, which means he will have the outside of the next corner, so he will have to concede to Baz. He goes for a switchback. Or almost loses the rear end a little bit, which loses him a bit of time and means he is unable to fight back. And Baz's grip on his soft tyres just too much for Capelot to fight with, and Baz will be hoping that now releases him to fight the top 5 as we've got a spin for Levy at the back of the grid. Not his day, unfortunately. DRS is now enabled, and with most of these drivers in the second, so many rear wings are going to be opening.
Yep. We got a train almost to team, like, we got a train to Matty player.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Matty Player and Dace fighting each other, coming through into turn 2. Looks like Matty Player will have his nose ahead coming to the S's and will keep that position.
Now Base is lining up Calcis there, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to keep an eye on Base, see how much he is able to use these soft tyres. to his advantage because he needs to attack now.
Yeah.
As the final couple of laps, he will be struggling.
Yeah, and Caliber almost losing DRS there.
Yeah, that is just crucial for these guys that they keep in DRS. As we see Current Day gaining half a second on that straight alone, just from Fruitful not having any DRS.
Yeah.
Dace and Matty Play still fighting each other.
Yeah.
Matty Player looks like he's kept hold of the position for now.
Yeah, the problem for Bass now is that he's in the DRS train with Kelsey's Caliber.
He is. He's
It's
gonna
kind of
need.
hard to overtake.
He's gonna need to make up a few tenths in that first sector. Get himself close.
Oh, he's close now.
He is. Oh, he's had a much better exit than Kelsey's.
Yeah.
Base going down the outside. And he gets the move done. That is great news for him. Again, he just wants to keep fighting through. Current Day get another 3 seconds, which is not good news. He is right behind Fruitful, though. As they come through the S's, he will have to back off slightly. Fruitful getting another 3 seconds. And they're both on 6.
Oh,
Bass getting a
whoa.
3 seconds. That is huge for these guys. And what that means is, as it stands, Calirob is in P2, Kausers is in P3.
Yeah, Current Day right on the ass of Fruitful at the moment.
He is, as he tries to go through. Oh, he tries to go through the inside, but doesn't. Looks like he's going to set himself up for this home straight.
Oh,
As we've got a
yeah.
yellow flag for Kaltur at the back of the grid, but Current Day now, with the DRS,
Yeah.
will have more than enough closing speed to get the move done. Is Fruitful going to fight back? No, he is not. But Base going down the inside of Calirob gets the move done. But Calirob, will he have the inside of the next turn? He will.
Yeah.
But Baz with the grip on those softs just has so much grip and will have the next turn as Calirob fights back again. Baz on the softs. Oh, a little bit of contact between them. But Calirob, fair play to him on those mediums, able to maintain the position. I do wonder if it is worth it, though. I mean, he's just going to be hurting himself, and I'm sure Kaus is behind. He is loving this battling he's seeing in front of him.
Yeah, and they were actually catching up to Fruitful and Current Day. So don't see why they would be fighting.
But fighting they are. Is Baz going to go down the inside? He is. Just gets his nose in front. But Calirob is not having it, and he's going to fight back as he tries to go on the outside, but into the S's he does have to concede that position. And you have to think, Bass, as staying in the DRS zone of Fruitful, should now keep that 4th position. I mean, what a comeback this has been from Baz. 18th to 4th.
I mean, he gotta have a bit of luck, but still.
Yeah.
Man's just...
The man is on a mission.
Not for P2, like...
Yeah.
He could get P2 this race.
He could get P2 as he sets himself up now to attack Fruitful, who will have DRS on Current Day. Goes down the inside and makes light work of that move. Moves up into P2. Current Day having to fall back into P3. Baz loving those moves. Just means that the pack fall back behind. And just look at the softs. They're still going. So much grip. Oh, as he goes down the inside of Current Day. A little bit of contact there. Front wing to rear tyre. I don't think he got any damage. But he does fall back a little bit. Loses a bit of time. Very aggressive move there from Baz. He's still got 5 laps to go. Doesn't need to get it done now. Current Day going a little bit wide.
I think Bass... He looks to be struggling. May have damage? He wouldn't keep in the pace that way.
No, couldn't get the move done that lap. But he has, I mean, the soft tyres. You have to think by the end of this lap, they're probably going to be equal in terms of traction with the mediums. As the softs are just wearing off. So if he wants that podium, he needs to get the move done sharpish. Capelot gaining another 3 seconds, which is not good news for him. And, well, Calirob and Kausis, I mean, that is a huge fight for those two. Kausis, with both of them not having a penalty, if Kausis can catch Calirob, that will be massive for him.
Yeah.
But with the second, third, and fourth all having penalties, that does still throw this podium wide open.
Yeah, and they are pretty close in the standings as well. So it is a fight for P6 in the standings, which Katarop has at the moment. So.
Definitely. Super important. And Baz is still gaining on current day, so those softs clearly still working. Almost a little bit of contact through that final straight, as looks like Baz is
Oh
going for
my god.
another move down the inside. He does push current day a little bit wide, but current day will have the inside and will keep it going. Baz loves that corner. He just keeps going for the
Yeah,
move as
oh,
current day goes
Is he?
wide, and Baz is able to take advantage. I don't think there was any damage. I just think he went a little bit wide there. And Baz
Yeah,
said,
maybe
thank
he
you
had to
very
correct
much.
or something.
He does. And Baz now has his
And
eyes set on second place, and with Fruitful not having
yeah,
DRS, the second place is all his. Current day as well, flashing red, less than 10% ERS. Baz, second place is all yours, mate. Go and get it.
and Boaz is up to 9th.
Baz up to 9th. Matty Player looks like he's overtaking Dace,
Yeah.
and Kaus is getting 3 seconds. He is not going to be loving that.
That's a punch to the gut.
That is a massive punch to the gut. Calirob loving it though now. The only driver, excluding Adri in the top 8, not to have a penalty. He just knows if he keeps it clean, a strong position is going to be his. Looks like he's getting very close to current day though. Current day struggling for ERS. Calirob looks like he's going to go. Oh, he tries to get on the outside, but goes a little bit. Oh, as my game is all over the place.
Well, they're still a side by side there.
I'm
Caliber going on the inside. Caliber makes the move. Current day. Yeah, Caliber's ahead. Caliber is ahead.
Calirob is ahead. I'm not sure what happened there. A little bit of lag on the stream's end. From my view, it looked like Calirob drove into the grass, but he didn't do that. But after all of that, Calirob has moved up to 4th, which does give him currently a net second place. Current day getting another 3 seconds. And Baz moves down the inside of Fruitful. This is a huge move for him. As he gets the move done, Fruitful looks like he tries to switch back to fight back, but Baz will have the inside and will have the position, and Baz now needs to just push for these 3 laps. Try and make those 3 seconds count. With Calirob in 4th, not having a penalty, second place still is currently his.
I don't see why you made the move in turn 1.
I guess he wants to use those S's to try and build up.
Yeah, but it didn't work at least.
No, it doesn't work, and Fruitful will likely get the move done again. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the maths here. As it stands, where does Kaus's place? Is he 3rd?
He is, I think he...
Oh, and he gets a move done on current day on the inside.
Oh, he will be...
Fourth. He will be 4th,
Yeah.
yes. I believe Fruitful will fall back. Yes.
Yeah.
That
So
3 seconds, yeah, means that Baz is now protected from him.
Yeah, and Boaz is actually... No, he will be 5th. Boaz will take have him at this.
Wow, so Baz is currently 4th.
Yeah.
Wow. That is crazy. As Cowtail retires, has left the session, sorry, so both AlphaTauris not finishing today. Not your day, Tambar, not your day.
Yeah. No. I have no hope anymore.
Bronco getting a 3 second, yeah, almost there, almost at the end of the season. I mean, you've had a fantastic lineup in Tier 1 and Tier 2, just evens it out in the end. And it means you're unlikely to topple McLaren at the top of the PRL combined standings. They're still sitting pretty at the top. Potentially with another second place.
Yeah. So, is there any fighting?
So, coming through the back straight again for the one more time after this. Calirob looks like he's trying to close in on Baz. Baz trying to hold back. I mean, those softs must be struggling now. But for now, Baz is maintaining his position. Calirob not able to get the move done this lap. no guy's able to get the move done down the back straight this lap. So they will have one more home straight and one more back straight with DRS to try and get a move done. The
OS is
important
actually 5 tenths away from getting third place.
Wow, great maths, love it, Temba. Great analysis.
No, it's
Important to
actually
note.
1 tenth away from getting third place.
Wow, so Boaz, I don't think he realizes this unless he's got the stream on in the background. If you can hear me, Boaz, keep it tight. Don't get a penalty, and a podium might be yours. Just keep on in that DRS. Oh, as Calirob and Base are fighting,
As long
Calirob
as they
will
are
have,
fighting,
yeah,
we'll...
Calirob will have the inside though, moving into the S's and is able to maintain that third position, gets the move done. So Bass, I don't know if it's going Bass or Base. Regardless, oh, is he going for another move? He tries it through the S's, which is incredibly dangerous. He will have this back straight though, as Calirob has fallen out of the DRS of Fruitful. His looks comfortably in second place on track as it stands, and it will mean that Baz, assuming he doesn't get a poor exit, doesn't get a great exit, but he will have DRS. Calirob no ERS to fight back with, and Baz with that closing speed will be able to fight back, but Calirob braking late as it comes through. That Calirob able to maintain it for now. Baz, is he going to try and switch back? He does try to switch back. I mean, Kaustis is super close to these guys as well, as Baz doesn't go for the inside move, but Kaustis with that closing speed, will he go for a dive at the last second? I mean, Baz is on the same level of penalties as him. He does have the dirty air, but he's got a tighter line coming through these corners. Coming through the penultimate corner, not close enough now. Will he go for it? As Adri crosses the line in first position, Fruitful will cross the line in second position on track, but this lineup is going to change all over the place. Calirob moves into second, Bass moves up into third, Boaz moves into the podiums!
Oh my god!
Boaz kept it clean.
Drive.
What a drive, kept it clean, no penalties, and moves into that podium spot. Baz with a fantastic recovery, it has to be said, 18th to 4th. Fruitful, second on track, will be gutted, moves back into 5th. And I mean, the two Williams, they were second and third at one place. Now falling back to, 7th and 8th. They must be gutted. It was all in their hands. But wow, Tamba, what a drive. What are your thoughts?
Well, I guess OS has to have a heart attack at the moment. Like, you're 9th place and then you suddenly end up in 3rd place without even knowing that.
Yes. I mean, wow. What a drive. Yeah. That was a lottery as they crossed the line there. I had no idea what was going to happen. But yeah, I mean, Adri, a thoroughly deserved winner. No penalties, pole position, first throughout. I cannot deny he deserved that win. Calirob kept it clean as well. Boaz kept it clean, and the three cleanest drivers get the podium, which just goes to show you how important that is.
Yeah.
So, take us through it, Tamba. Take us through the final order today.
Well, so we got the unbeatable German in P1 with the fastest lap with almost 1 second. Then we got Calirob in P2, making America proud. We got Boaz, the wild card, coming P3. Bass with an incredible recovery drive, ending up in P4. Fruitful P5, Calcis P6, Capilot P7, Rack P8, Current Day P9, T-Mac P10, Matty Player in 11th, Dace in 12th, Carludo in 13th, Bronco in 14th, BNB Levy in 15th, Calturi in 16th, George in 17th, and Cass in 18th. So yeah, and the highest penalty was 12 seconds.
12 seconds. We got it right.
No, wait, 15 seconds.
15, well, we said 12 or 15,
you got
so
it right.
we'll count that as a win for us both.
Yeah.
Well, what a drive, what a race. Yeah, we'll wrap up now. We have got Tier 1 coming up in 30 minutes time, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. But that being said, my name's been Cheryl Shaft. With me is Tamba.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Yeah.